I hope everybody's as fired up as I am. Are we?
After what I went through on that last show, I don't mind giving you guys everything I've got because I have a little extra energy that I never thought I'd have after winning ugly. But hey, we get these shows out there the best we can. If technology gets us every now and then, well, so be it. It is what it is. I got a great
Jeremy,
cast
what
of
hat is
characters on
that?
tonight. What's that?
It's my South Florida Tribune hat.
Okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure. I was like, I never seen that one before, so obviously it caught my eye.
Yes.
Being a
yes.
company guy tonight.
Oh, Danny!
Good
I thought we
evening.
were having. I thought we were having this guy on the show.
What
Oh
guy? What
no,
guy?
Captain Danny Fuller. Not yet, but one day. Probably on the baseball show quicker than anything that we do.
Hello to everybody.
Hello.
Good to
hello,
see you,
hello.
Yoli. Yoli, here's your theme music I missed this morning.
Why? I don't. Is that for Pac Babe?
Yep, that's
Okay.
Yoli. Yoli Cruz.
Hello.
CRUZ.
Hello. How you doing? Hey,
That's my favorite Packer fan.
What? Wait, what?
Hey, there's a reason.
That's okay. That's okay. I gotcha.
You're my favorite person. How's that?
I thought I don't know. I got way too many I got way too many Packer fans that I know, so it's hard for me to decipher. I'm not going to pick one over another one.
That's okay. You don't.
I mean,
have
I got Mark, I got Jason, I got anyone else. I got Candy up there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I can if I can get Rip the Packer fan on. I I occasionally talk to these people still. But anyway, what's going on tonight, guys? How we doing?
You know, I'm riding a high right now. I'm doing really good. My Wisconsin Badgers beat North Dakota tonight in the Frozen Four, so they're going to the finals.
versus.
We don't know yet.
Do we call that
Oh.
the frozen dance? Is that what the final game is in hockey? The frozen dance?
I don't know what it's called. I think it's just called the national championship.
Yeah. I mean,
know.
right now, Michigan is up 2-1 over Denver with 19-12 in the second.
Oh, God,
All right.
Michigan
Blue.
could be riding a high. Michigan could be riding an all-time high.
So it could be another Big Ten championship then.
Oh, is that why the show was quoted that way when I logged in?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
we've had quite a few. Like if you look at the football, you look at women's basketball, UCLA, you look at Michigan taking the men's basketball. So we've won all of the Big Ten has won all of those within this last year. So yeah, that's why we're talking Big Ten doesn't get the respect I think that we deserve. So yeah, we're talking Big Ten. We're talking
There's
Dustin
so much
May.
East Coast, West Coast, and SEC bias that isn't even funny.
Yes, Danny. Wisconsin is Big Ten, and they're already in. So Michigan is trying to
And
be.
Patty Grimes says, "Don't forget water polo because they won the national championship in that."
I didn't even know. Thanks, Patty. I didn't even know. Patty, how was the games out in Arizona? I forgot to ask. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm just trying to take care of a few other things at work on. She sent it to
Yep.
you again, by the way.
Yeah, it's a conference of champions now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean,
She sent it to you again.
I think Wisconsin and
All right, go on. Get on. Move.
I think the Tigers lost again today. That's quite a few in a row. Hey, there he is.
How are we doing?
There we go. All right, we made it work here. I'll tell you, this is the night. What's today? Please tell me this is not Friday the 13th. Because if it is, it came on the wrong day. Today is Thursday the 9th, the day where I get, almost 13 hours of sleep, and I'm getting bitten because of it now. But meanwhile, we got the cast here on today. We got the man who you'd like to take his beard, run him into the ground because he knows more about technology ever. Well, he's the last to get in, but we're glad to have him, and he's eventually going to be sponsoring the show as well. So let me just mention this. All right, Fernando, why don't you make a formal introduction to Jeremy and Adam, since obviously Jeremy was a little bit under the weather last week. And Adam, this is his first rodeo with you. Go ahead, let everybody know you were at the Final Four and you popped in on baseball. But give Adam and Jeremy an overview about you, and then Candy proceed. Now that I got all these things done, because Fernando, you definitely proved that even on the second show in the Country Club, you made this look like a boot camp because we're winning early. Ugly, whatever. Who cares? Go ahead.
Here we go. No,
yeah.
So it's Fernando Holiday Vargas. I've been around sports for quite some time. Had the opportunity to work, travel and work into sports. I've visited over like 50 different stadiums across different sports, and everything from All-Star games to World Series to 3 years in a row at the Final Four championship. So I've been around sports and different point of views, from production to sidelines and everything. So sports as a fan and sports as a job has always been in and around me. But I just happen to be on this one way or another, and I'm looking forward to be here every Thursday and just exchange opportunities and opinions about sports. None of us are coaches or GMs or scouts, but we all know what needs to be done on our favorite sports team. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be part of this team and grow and to learn with each other, and let's just have some fun and just talk sports or talk politics.
So Fernando, what are your teams?
So I'm a big fan of you are where you're from, or you are where your family's from, so none of this is gonna just make sense. I'm wearing a Marlins hat, but I'm a New York Mets fan. So we'll go with football Cowboys, baseball Mets, hockey Panthers, basketball default by the Heat. So I'll say this: basketball, I'm a playoff fan. Hockey, I'm a playoff fan. Football, don't follow it at all, but I still know what's going on. College, a couple of my high school friends went to the pros, and I follow them throughout. So I had great opportunities to see my friend get drafted by the Eagles and see him play with Michael Vick back in the day with the Eagles. So sports is along my journey, but now for me, I just work into sports. I want to get back into being a fan of sports now, and hopefully with you guys, my fandom will grow back into it, and hopefully with this community, I could be a fan again.
All right. So Lindsay Masick said, "Say 6'7", and I will subscribe 6'7".
6'7". There you go.
Well, hey, Lindsay, can I ask you a question? I'm 63. Will that work? If I make it to 67, who knows what's going to happen? I don't even know what that analogy is, but I'm 63 going on 90. I may skip my ticket over there. I don't know what the analogy means.
67.
Jamie Licious said top right, do you like football? Asking me if I like football is like asking fish if they need water.
Really?
Okay. All right. Well, if I'm reading this correctly with my incredible vision, say 67, I will subscribe. All right, 67, please subscribe. All right, did I say it right this time?
67. It's that thing that the kids are doing.
What happened?
I'm not doing that.
We're on board. Who cares? It is what it is.
And yes, stick to your home team.
Somebody just said hi from Delray. I'm in Boynton Beach, so whoever said hi from Delray, I would love to connect.
That's the advice guy.
Oh, that's the advice guy. What is he advice on? What? On everything?
Don't know. He's just he came in the chat and I see he's there.
Advice. I actually need you tonight. Advice. I want you to watch last hour's edition of Sports Wrap. Okay, and I'd like you to give us advice how you go ahead and get around what I just had to deal with. And if you can come up with something that I think is really good, you definitely got my ears and everybody when I get on
these.
Right,
so what exactly happened? All right, what happened? Why don't we fill us in since we're going to talk about this? Why don't we fill us in, Scott? What happened?
Go ahead, Candy, because I was off half of it anyway.
He does live streams. That's what we do.
You started it with 5 people on your show, usual people, and one of them came in on their phone and could not hear Scott but could hear all the other people on the stream. Then we tried to bring somebody else in, and he couldn't hear anybody on the stream. And then it switched to people couldn't hear Scott on the stream, and they could hear the person that was having problems hearing Scott. So then Scott went in on a different device. One of the other guys couldn't hear him, so somebody else had to lead the show, and it kind of went around the room who couldn't hear who.
And it was on first, it was on the second.
In other words, in military terms, it was a cluster frig.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could say that in a very, like you say, on your terms. At least you've improved your
vernacular.
Yeah, that's good enough. I'm so fried. It wouldn't matter what I said tonight. Who cares?
I do like that a little bit. Oh, sorry, Jim. I was going to say we went through that a little bit on Tuesday. We couldn't hear Jason for a little bit.
See, right. This is why the country club is a good show. We get to air it all out, people. Not scripted. That's why Fernando fit in with this team. He couldn't handle boot camp with me, but he's in the country club. Thank God. So don't give me that.
Scott didn't give me the show notes until like late. And I want to do my research. I want to confirm I got my points. I got my opinions. I have my stuff. Because at the last show, I did mention Scott's talks on theory. Scott doesn't talk Scott. He doesn't talk stats. he talks theory. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's I just want to take it serious and have my research and make sure I'm good to go.
Well, let me give you some information, brother. Number one, I'm a communications major. Communication. Okay, so name me any part of math that's involved with communication, and I'll buy you a genius hat wherever you want to find it. Because I majored at the University of South Florida in 1986, okay, in communication, okay, communication. And I barely got into USF because of my math deficiencies. In fact, I'm going to say something that's really unscripted, all right? You guys ready for this story? I love telling this group story. Here's the situation. I go to Broward Community College in Pembroke Pines, Florida, okay? But I ended up getting I think it was a 1.5 grade point average at Florida International, and I don't know what topic it was. It wasn't public speaking, but something else. And then I ended up getting math, of all things, 2.0 for a night class. I used to take classes at night so I could get rid of all the extra garbage that you had to deal with daytime stuff. But this time I got smart. I took math during the summer, so they had to pile everything all in, okay, in a short time. Well, guess what? USF says to me, you got to have a 2.0, okay, to get in the university, and I'm prepared to move to Tampa fall of 84. Great. Can't go there. Wrong. Let's think again. So I went over to, I don't know, it was a provo or whoever that, dean or whatever, whoever the hell let you in these places, okay? I said, listen, I agree that my 1.5 in the top subject I didn't know about wasn't any good, okay, and all that business. But I did get a 2.0 in math with my last thing. And doesn't that count for anything? Because you said the last school, not the one. And I swear to God, if body language could tell you everything, the guy says to me, you know what? Welcome to the University of South Florida. I found a loophole, people. But, he says to me, I'm putting you on probation. I said, go for it. What do you think happens the next term? I got 2 B's, and that was the end of that cotton picking story. I got in winning ugly and finding a loophole. Now, Ballrick wouldn't be surprised at this because he knows I'm always up to something, except days when I get some sleep, which isn't very often in the first place. Samir, I wouldn't encourage this practice because you're way too smart anyway. Fernando, the next time you come on a show, I ain't looking for cotton picking math equations. I stunk in school anyway, but I was able to make it work the other way. Adam, you're new, so you'll get to know me as time goes on. Candy, well, you've seen it all.
Okay.
So
what I was getting ready to talk about, because we were talking about introductions, advice guy, I actually am from Flint, Michigan, just north of Detroit. I am a Detroit sports nut, a Detroit sports slappy, and a University of Michigan fan. I have been writing for Scott about the Detroit Lions this will be my 5th season coming up. I have been podcasting for my 5th season this season as well about the Detroit Lions, and I have branched into the Tigers, and pretty soon we'll start my NBA talks because our Red Wings are so pathetic that they're probably not making the playoffs, so I don't know if I'll have a hockey playoff show. But anyways, so I changed my channel from being just Detroit Lion centric to Detroit sports. Instead of it being kneecap biting with the Motor City Lions, it's now the KCB Sports Network, because KCB was the original AM sports station even before Scott was involved, that later became WDFN. So
Mr.
that's
Adam,
all tied back to
where's Adam
Detroit.
from?
I live in Weirton, West Virginia, which is like 40 minutes out of Pittsburgh. I grew up though,
You said
right up.
Wheeling?
Huh?
Wheeling, West Virginia?
Wheeling's like 30 minutes from me.
Oh, and I've been in. That's what I thought you said. That's what I thought you said, because like I was like, oh, I've been there before.
Would you go to Wheeling Downs? Did you go gamble?
No, I passed through there and I got to see the hockey team there. I forgot what minor league teams there, but I got to see the hockey team. It's pretty cool.
The Wheeling Nailers, the Penguins.
Yeah.
Good. Obviously, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm a Cleveland fan. I'm an Indians, Guardians fan, Pirates fan. I podcast usually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm here. Saturday, I'm with Jeremy, which I think once I go to camp, I don't know if I'm going to be available Saturday nights, Jeremy. And if I do, I might be highly beach day. We'll call it a beach day.
I got you. In other words, it's going to be like it'll be country club with drinks.
But just to chime in, I was an opportunity to be at Cleveland for the World Series. That energy was pretty
97?
intense. No, like a few years ago when they lost against
the Cubs.
Game 7, like I was there on behalf of DirecTV. We had the blimp. We were flying there, and I was working on the ground with the camera. But that stadium, it was intense. The rain and the delay and the home run, like it was intense. It was intense. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, they just needed 16 outs. They just needed 27 outs for 2 games in a row, and they couldn't do it.
It was fun.
So,
it was definitely a good experience.
So let's see. The Big Ten has won in water polo, football, women's basketball, men's basketball. They're already represented in hockey. And it looks like they may even be well represented in women's softball and in baseball as well, because there's some teams doing really well that looks like they're going to be moving on into the regionals. So
Yeah,
Big Ten's a lot better represented than everybody gave them credit for prior to this past football season.
You kidding? The Big Ten's cleaning up.
Penn State won in men's wrestling too.
Well, I think.
Oh, no. Scott's
Penn State's
taking notes.
pretty good at wrestling.
I think Scott's taking notes or writing stuff down. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I am a little bit. I'm multitasking tonight, so no, I'm not falling asleep. Advice guy. I'm a high energy motor mouth, taking notes, multitasking, and doing what we've got to do. But don't worry, I'm paying attention and I can respond to everything that's going on. But I'm glad that the advice. Hey, the advice guy. You say you're located in Boynton, right? Is that correct?
Delray Beach, right?
No, that's close enough. You and I and Fernando need to get together sometime, brother. Okay, because Fernando's going to be a big part of what we do. And if you really have as much advice as I think you are, you and I, and we get candy at night, it'll be a really interesting time. So, Delaware, I know what the hell that place is.
So,
yeah, let's do it. I'm not falling asleep, but I'm glad you appreciate my mannerism. You guys are anything but boring, that's for sure.
I'm just curious. Does anyone think Oakland or Las Vegas takes Jeremiah Love instead of Mendoza?
No.
Why would they do that?
To have a 1-2 punch like Detroit had with Montgomery and Gibbs.
But they don't have the quarterback yet, so that doesn't make sense.
They have someone that could wield. They have someone that could wield the fence right now.
That would be absolutely ridiculous.
They're going for Fernando Mendoza.
If they were to take a running back in the top 10 2 years in a row, that would be absolutely ridiculous. So it won't happen. So I'm not worried about it. But
so Roger Staubach is the only Heisman winning trophy to win, right? to win the Super Bowl.
So, advice guy, let me know when you want to hook up. Fernando, do me a favor, okay? Since you're new on this broadcast, you make sure you get in contact with this guy, okay? And I want you, because you're going to have new roles that'll be announced in the coming weeks, okay? With this thing, as you and I meet up on a show, probably hopefully next week before I hit Europe, okay? Get this guy's information, okay? And we're going to find a way to meet up with him. We're going to really I got a lot of things up my bag of tricks, as Candy will say. My bag of tricks actually remind of Canada. They go far and they go wide. Does anybody get the analogy? Maybe not. If you're Donald Trump,
are we talking about the Rockies?
Okay, so
I throw the show off a little bit.
It looks like Roger Staubach won the Heisman in 1963. Jim Plunkett won it with Stanford in 1970. Marcus Allen, he's not a QB. Doug Williams,
41 quarterbacks. 41
48.
quarterbacks, Jeremy, won the Heisman from 1935 till 2025.
I know.
Quarterbacks are the most overrated position.
That's why I'm thinking.
I know, but I'm just saying these are the Heisman.
Yes and no.
There's three.
Because you can't win without one.
No. I just don't like how they will. Not every quarterback. Again, I'm in and out. Not every quarterback is like LeBron, who go right onto the field and just throw right away. I think you can. No team is going to take a number one and run them through. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they got to put them in, put out too many systems, different techniques, different schemes. Very few quarterbacks succeed. Quarterbacks are guaranteed 90% bust. Like it's difficult to put all that money into a position that 90% is going to be a bust.
It's 68% that bust. That's the actual first round draft bust percentage. 32% of them succeed.
That's why I'm asking. I mean, Mendoza was a one-year quarterback that won the Heisman, won the national championship 1 year. That's all you heard of this guy.
And he's a transfer.
And that's why I'm asking you if
yeah, well, I mean, I'm not comparing apples to oranges, but
you asked the question if they should go Jeremiah Love, and I said no, because Ashton Genty is already there. They just got him last year. The reason why Mendoza makes sense this year is because they just built the trenches in front of them and reinforced that defense that was god awful last year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, and then number one, number two, you need a quarterback. And I feel like not every situation is created equal, but I feel like when you have a chance to get your potential franchise quarterback, those don't grow on trees. You go get them.
But some of these teams have quarterbacks in their depth chart they're not using. So it's like
some of them.
NFL has no farm system. People forget you could trade for other quarterbacks.
Yeah, but
you can. But at the same time, they like what they see out of them, and the kid's already been working out with Tom Brady.
And then number two, I think you have to consider, and this is my opinion, quarterback development. I would say the last couple of years, not only on the collegiate level but on the NFL level, is probably the worst it's been in a long time.
You know what? You are 100% right. I've heard that, and you know why I can say that? You're 100% right, Samir. I've had several different athletes on Inside the Pitch, and Jeremy will tell you about it, that have said the exact same thing that you have. Melfar Jr., Samir, is adamant about that for sure. Yeah, look at Jeremy with that old Clint smile. That's because he's right, because he's heard these comments firsthand. But you're right. The quarterback development's awful. Yep. It really is. And I know.
How many years did Brady wait for an injury to happen before he got his?
One. It was in the beginning of his second year when I think Bledsoe got injured.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Here's the crazy thing. It wasn't
how many years did Rodgers wait before Brett Favre left?
3.
Has that been? Yeah. See, you know what? There you go. So Samir, you know what? I'm sorry to interrupt y'all, but Samir, you brought up a couple of interesting points here tonight, and we've been talking about this all along. And I'm glad I'm really on this show now, so I can try to learn from the last one. But although I never will. But here's the thing. Yeah, no, don't mess with me because I know you'll get away with it. Don't worry, I got ways to mess with you a little bit later, and you'll enjoy every bit of what I'm going to hit you with, Adam. Just stay tuned, brother. But here's the thing. Don't worry, I'll tell you, you got my attention now. I'm not writing anything down. I'll finish later. because
I just
all
wanted
it
to
is
tell
is
Michael
bad.
Johnson that I saw his comment. That's why I was giving the thumbs up. He,
Oh,
good
that's
friend of
okay.
mine.
It's good. It's all good. So getting back to what I was saying, and on a lot of my previous football shows, I've been saying that every quarterback should sit 2 or 3 years, no matter what. Period. At least you have to find the perfect bridge quarterback that you have to do to break these guys in. You don't put them up to fail right away. Unfortunately, all these coaches are stupid. They don't understand it and they don't figure it out. They really don't. But Samir, you're dead right. Period. What else do you want me to tell you, pal?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I was going to say not every situation is created equal. And to add on what you said first, you have the quarterback talent in development isn't as good as it is. And then you have every team is desperate to find a quarterback. That's how you end up with guys like Zach Wilson going second overall.
Right.
That's just one example. Anybody could have told you that J.J. McCarthy was not a first-round quarterback. Eddie Prather says, a.k.a. Michael Penix. The Michael Penix situation is different. The issue with Michael Penix was never his arm talent. It was his health. And that's why before the draft, he was mocked in a lot of drafts to be a projected second-round pick. But, of course, he ends up going 8th overall in what was a bizarre set of events. But that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah, but you're right. A lot of times, Samir, and I just got done covering the Senior Bowl. You follow me? So I had an opportunity to talk to different people there. There's a thing between taking for need, as Jeremy knows, right? You follow me? And you take for need, and you fall in love with the guy, whether you think it's work, you reduce it to a 50% crapshoot is what you do, or the obvious guy. But the draft is no exact science. It just isn't. Why do you think I don't really, frankly, care about mock drafts? I don't care. You know why I don't care about mock drafts? I'd rather go out here and put my comments up that I was able to get from these players and let you go ahead and figure out the player. Because here's what happens when I interview these people. Okay, and that's it. One, you get an idea for what's in their head. That's an interview, something we should learn on when it comes to interviewing. You find out what's in their head mentally, okay? Then you find out what's in their heart. And where a lot of these talent evaluators don't get it right is because they miss one of the two. But that's what you have to do. I don't give a rat's, you know what, about the Wonderlic test. What the heck does that show me? Who cares?
Right.
I can tell you many times when I was in high school that the people that have some of the best grade point averages do not, and I repeat, make it in college, because high school is a lot easier animal. You get to college, the professors don't care whether or not you were the best in your class in high school. They don't really give a lick. They really don't care. This is what steps out. You got to work. And you know what? When the professors get their moolah, otherwise known as money, they don't care what you did. They wouldn't care if you're the best cheerleader, you had a 3.9. Big deal. Let's get to the big leagues people, at least at the time in academics, college. Then we find out what it separates. And one other story I want to add to this, and it's still pertinent, Samir, and hang with me, guys, okay? I'll never forget the time at USF that I went out there and took an English class, okay? And this guy, his name was Professor Colonel K. All the guy did at the time, mind you, in 1985, people, I don't know how many of you guys were even alive then, but, you know, we had 24 people in our class, okay? And one of them was an English teacher. And you know what? But I got a heads up on this professor because my editor over at the Tampa Tribune had him too. So I knew what I was getting into. I was getting into a hornet's nest with this guy. So anyhow, I ended up getting a D- on my first paper. D- as a dog on my first. That was one of the highest grades in the class. Oh, this is going to be an interesting 16 weeks. I know it, man. It's going to be rotten. And we had an English teacher in the class. You know what happened? I told the professor I hate his guts. He didn't like me either. Anything surprised? No, back then I was wild as I am now at 63. But let me continue the point. I'm almost there. Hang in with me, guys. Because this is all part of the draft thing. That's why I want to bring this up tonight, because the story is timely. So hang with me on this one, please. Okay. So my next grade was a D. Well, we're getting better. At least we got the minus out of the way. D plus, C minus, B. What do you think I got for the Samir, what do you think I got as my final grade for the class, Samir?
So you got a D minus,
D minus, D plus, C minus, and a B minus.
B minus. Okay.
Well, what was my final grade, Samir?
B.
Hey.
Fernando?
C plus.
Okay, Adam?
I said A.
I wish. Okay, it's not bad. I wish after what I went through.
I
I'm
thought
going
you
to
were
say
gonna.
a
I thought
C,
you were gonna
a
tell me you
solid
turned it
C.
around and got
Right.
like a A+ on the final, and that's where your final grade was.
No, we were writing papers, brother. We weren't writing. I'm bad at taking tests. Oh, the advice guy gives me an F. Boy, you just got yourself in my doghouse. Oh, how hard it is to get out of that. Okay, all right, go ahead, Jeremy. What was my final grade?
I want to know.
I think it
what
was a
kind of.
C, a solid C.
Candy, what was my final grade?
Wasn't it a B plus?
All right, you know what? Samir gets the star for the night. I got a B. Because you know what I ended up doing? See, we only met. We were supposed to meet 2 days a week. Okay, but he said, "Nah, I'll just use the other one as a conference day." I used to be in there all the time getting some information. Okay, from the guy, and he graded on improvement. That's the story I wanted to bring out in this whole story. And what you're going to see in the draft process is when you go ahead and look at the Senior Bowl, you follow me. You know, you have all kinds of different coaches, scouts, and everything, and that's what I live. Jeremy, the whole idea is get your butt down there when the time comes. Senior Bowl's an experience that everybody should get to. Samir, if you want to get there, or of course, what's his name? Fernando don't need that. That's too small of an event for him. He just goes to Final Four. But the Senior Bowl will teach him something about journalism, just messing with you. And Adam, I'd love to have you along with me. The Senior Bowl is arguably one of the events I really love doing because I've had enough contact to last me into April, which has worked out well. I just wanted to share that story so you understand evaluation and how people in that field do. And Colonel K, I told him, I hate your guts. I don't like you either, but you know what, Colonel? I love you. Hey, you know what? You're not so bad yourself because you're a great student. But I gave him a hug, and that was
hold on.
that was the end of that.
Is an experience as well too. I have my friend who went to
Rufus in the
Georgia, got
chat.
drafted. In his senior class, I got the Badgers autograph. I got LeGarrette Blount autograph from Oregon. That was a pretty cool Senior Bowl over there in Mobile, Alabama. It's a great experience.
We'll get you up there. Don't worry. I'm just messing with you right now.
I've been there already. Hey, Scott, man, where you've been, I've been there too.
Oh, have you?
I've
Good.
been there too.
You want to go back? You want to go back and take pictures?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll make it work. Yeah, at least you're local. You have to work. You and Candy get some sponsors. We'll get them to fit the bill. We don't care.
So,
You with me, Adam? I got a surprise for you. Candy, put those two pictures up about the right now, and then we have something for Adam. And then next week, when we're confident in our technology, ever heard of him? Dusty May? I got an actually picture with him. You can get the one with him.
I heard about this.
They got Chloe. How do you like that one? That was last year in Tampa.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you got one of Dusty and I. Candy only had all week to figure it out.
No, I do not have one.
Right,
I don't have one on my phone. So,
okay. So,
well, you know what? She'll have it on next week's edition of Fire Up. I had an interview with Dusty May at one time at FAU, and also did one with Corey Close. We were just going to the nuts and bolts tonight. So, but at least you got. Sorry, Jeremy. I know you're the co-host of the show. I'm not helping it matters any out tonight, but that's okay.
I'm trying to get to the point where I do have the list of all the draft attendees that are actually going to the NFL draft down there.
Take it
You
over.
can put that up for us, Candy, and I'll read through the list.
This one?
Okay.
Yep. David Bailey, Reuben Bain Jr., Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs, Kendrell Falk, Colton Hood, Makai Lemon, Jeremiah Love, Francis Mawagawa, Caden Proctor, Caden McDonald, Averill Reese, Ty Simpson, Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate, and Jordan Tyson.
It's only 16. I feel like in years past, a lot more guys went.
It was only 11 that showed up in 24.
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh,
Yeah, it was 11.
Wasn't that the one we attended?
That's the one we attended in Detroit.
Yeah, we did pretty good. Didn't we go ahead and do pretty good there, Jeremy? Why don't you summarize your experience of 2024 now that you brought it up?
Well, at first, I sat back and listened because, I'm a Lions guy, but I paid attention. I do pay attention to the NFL. Scott heard me break down the picks as they came in when I do my because I did my podcast live while they were drafting.
Right.
And so I got to see him network and meet some people and do a couple interviews. And then when we were in there, And it finally came. What time was that? 11:30 when Terrion Arnold finally got up there.
Right.
And I tried to get a question out and got cut off. I tried to get another question out and got cut off. And I got Terrion's attention. And how I did it was I went and pulled out that old drill sergeant type of voice and sounded off louder than everybody else and got his attention. He goes, "Yes, sir." And I said, "So what did you learn during that 4 weeks that you were benched back last season with Alabama?" And he talked about the perseverance he learns, the lessons, and what he did wrong. But the big thing is that he learned is that he never wanted it to happen again in his lifetime.
Hello, Mrs. Vargas. How you doing? Welcome to the big show. I see you. I'm not Ray Charles. I'm not blind. I can see it. Get in here if you're going to get it. Do it the right way. Get her in here. All right, there you go. Your husband and I, okay, Candy and you, we're going to hang out a little bit. We got a lot of things we're going to work on. So glad you made your appearance, and don't worry, you won't be the last we ever see you. How do you like that? There you go. I know how to go ahead and wave too. Go ahead. What else did you see? Me going out there and taking care of Mel Owens, right? I got him right away.
I said a couple interviews. I can't always remember the name, Scott.
Yeah, well, Mel Owens was a big fish sticker, man. We did good.
Yeah, I know. I said you had a couple of interviews, and that's how I learned how to ask a question is what I was getting at.
Oh, that's okay. I like giving Jeremy a hard time. Wait till I get him to the senior.
I know. I don't like it. Never mind.
Huh?
I don't. Never mind.
Jeremy, I'll say this. I always make him speechless. All I say about Ballrick, he's come a long way. He's good. He's in the book, for God's sakes. If he wasn't in the book, he wouldn't. If he wasn't good enough, he wouldn't be in the book. Lessons from the Microphone, which Candy's going to give you an impromptu station break to promote it.
Okay. South Florida Tribune Publishing Company published a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning in the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by Scott, the Motor City Madmouth Morganroth. Talks about his 40-plus years in the business and how the business has evolved. Go get your copy today. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. There's also a link on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com. And if you like to listen to the audio version of the book, that's out there as well. If you like to listen to podcasts, you can find us wherever you get your podcast. If you want to advertise or be a guest on the show, or you can always email us at southfloridatribune@gmail.com. And last but not least, if you see that red subscribe button in that lower right-hand corner, that means you have not yet subscribed to any of the different platforms we are using tonight. We would ask that you subscribe to all of them, please. Thank you.
The only reason why last year there was more at the draft than there was the year in 2024 is because there was more first round graded quarterbacks.
Okay.
You had the same, if you took out the quarterbacks, it was the exact same amount of people as there was in 24 last year. There was 17 there, and 6 of them were first round graded quarterbacks. So you take away the 6, it would have been 11 again. It's gone down every year since the year that Brian Branch was drafted, and that was 23. On average, it's 10 to 15 most. But that year in 2023, there was 24 of them. The year before that, there was 21. The year before that, there was 17. And the year before that, there was 13. So, it varies up and down. But the most that ever was the 2023 draft. And that's the draft where you had Michael Mayer go in the second round when he was supposed to go in the first round. Brian Branch was considered one of the best safeties in the NFL that went in the second round.
That was good for you.
Yeah, great for me.
Do you think like these mock draft can reposition a player in a different direction?
No.
No, I don't think that's what it does. I think a lot of it has to do when they get into the in-depth of the character and the person off the field, because a lot of the GMs and coaches, when they talk to these guys during the 30 rookie personnel visits of who they're interested in, you can tell who they want because the cream rises to the top, and the other ones you just don't even hear them talk about anymore. Out of that 30, you'll hear about 15 names they want, and 15 you never hear again.
So before Mahomes, Kansas City was not a top market.
No.
But they were still a good team as soon as they got Andy Reid.
But like, could he have done the same success in a high traffic market, LA, New York, Texas, Pittsburgh? Like, could the same thing? Could Josh Allen be in the same position? And because Buffalo's in its own little zone over there, could he have gone to a different team and have the same success? Or some teams really brings out the best in that player?
I think that what helped Pat Mahomes the most was having Mike Kafka and Andy Reid that year backing up, because Mike Kafka is one heck of a QB coach, and he was in the Andy Reid stable that year and worked with them and because everybody said he was a system QB and he had a whole bunch of fundamental issues that was wrong with how he threw. And that's why he fell to Kansas City in that draft. He was considered a second or third rounder by most of the draft pundits, and he went in the first round to Kansas City, which shocked everybody. I think it was 17 he went.
Yeah, the Chiefs moved up, went and got him.
Right. So they moved up to 17 to get him that year, because if I remember right, they were in the AFC Championship with Alex Smith the year before.
Right.
No, they had lost to Tennessee in the wild card.
Oh, the wild card. Okay. They won their division. They won their division, but lost in the first round. But still, they were up there and they moved up.
Mm-hmm.
Because
and then, did anyone see the Cowboys trading?
Some teams hang on to their quarterbacks way too long.
Yeah, well, I think so, and I think that's the hard part, because as I mentioned earlier, a long-term starting quarterback or maybe even a franchise quarterback, those don't come around very often. So it kind of feels like when you feel like you have your guy, it's like you got to stick with them until the wheels fall off. Like, for example, Tua. You got, there are a lot of people that think maybe the Dolphins stuck with Tua maybe a year too long.
Well, I'll give you that one.
Nah, the coach is crap. The coach was wearing
McDaniel
leggings.
Wait. That's hold it. Time out. Time out. That's a problem on both ends. Number one, Tua should have been drafted there in the first place when you had Justin Herbert in front of him, who was a way better quarterback. And number two, the Dolphins, to me, remind me of the Hatfields and McCoy. All they do is fight with each other. They're the most dysfunctional organization on the planet. So both of them are responsible for the debacle that Jeff Hafley has now. Tua, we'll see what he does in Atlanta. He's your problem now, Samir, not the Dolphins. Dolphins have no equal.
It's like saying the team that picked before Buffalo shouldn't have taken Josh Rosen, right?
Oh, yeah, well, and I was going to add on to what Jeremy mentioned. I think it also depends on where on the organization the quarterback ends up getting drafted to. Like Josh Allen, for example, was the ultimate hit-miss prospect of his class. And like, for example, like I see Jets fans talk. I'll get back to that. Like I see Jets fans complaining about we passed on Josh Allen and got Sam Darnold. Josh Allen would have been a bust if he had gotten drafted by the Jets.
Here's another one. What if the Bears didn't draft Mitch Trubisky and they drafted Patrick Mahomes and he had to be thrown to the Wolves year one? Would he be that good? There's that thing. They allowed him to develop that year for a reason. They said he had mechanic issues. They said he had decision-making issues. He was in an air raid system. As a matter of fact, it was the last year that Cliff Kingsbury was the coach at Texas Tech before he became the coach of Arizona.
It's a great point. It really is. Again, being in the right situation at the right time is key, and that's the thing. I mean, the reason why the Chiefs landed Patrick Mahomes is Andy Reid and company. Their scouts obviously were high on him, looked at enough film. Hey, listen, I could criticize Dan Marino all day long if I want to, but the fact that 20-some teams made a mistake and he had a pretty good career with Miami, but Don Shula let him throw it wherever the heck he wanted, and even though they should have had a running game, he would have gotten the Super Bowl. That's another story. But sometimes you got to have a little bit of luck when players drop to you and snap them up when you get a chance.
Miami wouldn't draft him a wide receiver if he paid him.
If Cleveland had drafted him, he probably wouldn't have worked out either.
Nobody worked out.
Wait, look how good Baker was those few years he was there at Cleveland. If they'd have had Josh Allen, how much better would they have been? Because they had a decent O-line at the time.
Yeah.
So, you got to go look both ways there, because Josh Allen, the only thing he needed to work on was decision making. That was his biggest problem. And setting his feet right, because he liked to throw off his back foot a lot his rookie year. That's why he had so many picks.
Good point. Yeah, I think it's all about situational. Why do you think Tom Brady dropped all the way to where he did? I mean, you don't know where your next hidden gem is going to come. You don't.
Yeah. Well,
that's why I'm not so big on drafting quarterbacks steadfast in the first and second round. Don't tell me that about Joe Montana. All he did was get drafted in the third round. Tell me how that worked out for the 49ers.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to discredit him, but
that's because he's from Western PA.
He did have a super team.
Exactly.
He was playing with a bunch of Hall of Famers.
Well, a lot of great quarterbacks came from Western PA, didn't Jim Kelly?
Well, that's what happens when you're coach good. They had Bill Walsh. Come on.
So what? The guy drafted in the third round. Yeah, it worked out well.
Everybody he had around him and everything else. Wow.
All you did, Jeremy, was validate my point. Thanks. You have Bill Walsh. You picked a guy out of Notre Dame. Notre Dame hasn't won anything anyways in years. But Joe Montana, we wrote some record books, and obviously appeared in Super Bowl 16 at the Pontiac Silverdome. I mean, give me a break. That's what you're talking about. Some of these guys got to land up in the right places.
Yeah, and
100% is why Brady dropped.
Yeah, funny thing, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, everybody gave up on him. They go to a different system, different coaching, and they excelled. Remember, nobody wanted to. I mean, you can add Geno Smith to that list as well. Geno Smith didn't start for almost a decade from when he left New York, and then he got his gig in Seattle, and he got
the turnout with the Raiders. Again, nobody works out there either.
No, that's because nobody works out with Chip Kelly. What are you talking about in the NFL?
Exactly. Bingo. Yeah, that's why he's back in college. Maybe he can. It works at Northwestern, trying to turn journalists into football players. I think that's where he's at now, isn't he, Jeremy?
Wait. I want to put that up. Put that comment up by Dom again, because I actually know the slowest 40 times, and Tom Brady's 40 time was not that slow. You want to know why? Because I know that the fifth slowest time in the NFL Combine is a 5.86, and the slowest 40 time is a 6.06. So Tom Brady ran a 5.12, which is slow for a QB, but it's a QB who's a pocket passer. You don't expect him to be anything.
Well, I think another example you can use is Drew Brees. Remember, he didn't play well initially. They draft Phillip Rivers, and then he has a shoulder injury. The Chargers basically dump him. Sean Payton takes a chance on him, and he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, what you're forgetting, though, is Nick Saban wanted him in Miami, and that led to his early exit out of Miami, and he settled for Joey Harrington. Go figure that one out, Samir. Put the pieces of that one together.
Yeah, the
Joey
Saban wanted him.
I thought was going to kill it. Joey was my favorite quarterback in NCAA and playing college football on a game. I enjoyed.
I agree with you.
Well, hold on. You want to go that far? I thought Joey Harrington destroy Arizona, and I gave the play-by-play because I was covering the Lions and Arizona Cardinals over at Sun Devil Stadium at the time, and I gave the actual thing and told my buddy Bill, I won't mention the last name, here, look what Joey Harrington did last night. And Bill took the stuff, and the Lions ended up drafting him. It didn't work. I was 0 for 1 when it comes to picking a draft pick. It didn't work out. But the only reason it didn't work out was because Joey, is the coaching that he had around him that ruined him. It wasn't him per se, because I think Joey Harrington in the right situation, his situation would have turned out far better than it did.
But then you have like Troy Smith of Ohio came out as a quarterback and excelled as a receiver.
The slowest 40 time was Regis Crawford, an offensive lineman. Other remarkably slow times was Isaiah Thompson, who ran a 6 second, Sharon Dorsey, who ran a 5.99, Palani Mason, who ran a 5.86, or an Orlando Brown Jr. that ran a 5.85. So there's your list.
All right.
All right, just to give you a preview a little bit on fire of what we're going to attempt to do next week is I got Coley, the UCLA basketball coach, have a good soundbite we're going to put her on for next week, and we're going to track up some Dusty May stuff as well when he was at FAU. I had a chance to work with Dusty for a couple of years, and it was good. And also, God willing, we'll be able to get some baseball stuff on there. I want to get Miles Straw on here as well. I know there were some people that like this guy, so Candy's gonna work on that tonight. The only thing that held us back on the technical stuff was what we had before, but those are some of the things that y'all can look forward to next week on Fire Up.
So the only other thing on the NFL I wanted to point out is that I actually did something I never did before. This is my first year doing it. I did my own top 25 prospect list. These are my rankings. They are not reflective of any other pundit out there. Number 1, Avril Reese. Number 2, Fernando Mendoza. Number 3, Jeremy Love. 4, Caleb Downs. 5, Sonny Styles. 6, David Bailey. 7, Francis Mauagawa. 8, Ruben Bain Jr. 9, Mansour Delane. 10, Makai Lemon. 11, Kenyon Sadiq. 12, Jordan Tyson. 13, Carnell Tate. 14, Monroe Freeling. 15, Vega Ione, because I am not going to try to say that first name. 16, Jermad McCoy. 17, Caden Proctor. 18, Akeem Messidor. 19, Spencer Fanu. 20, Dylan Thieneman. 21 is Emmanuel Pregnon, the guard out of Oregon. 22 is Emmanuel McNeil Warren. 23 is Avion. They did 26 of them because it doubled the 22 for some reason. But 22 is Avion Terrell. 23 is Denzel Boston. 24, Omar Cooper Jr. And 25 is Kendrick Bolt. So it's technically 26 there.
Pretty good list there.
You know, I want to go back to Michael Johnson, but we should put that one up there. We should. I appreciate the respect. I really do. Here's the thing, Michael. I appreciate the respect, and I'll answer whatever questions I can. One thing you might want to consider doing is put Inside the Pigskin on your Tuesday schedule if you're not conflicted anywhere else. At 8:30, we have a great show there. I have some former NFL players that come on, and I think you'd be a fit, and we'd love to have your comments on that show, in addition to being here on the Country Club. Michael Johnson, God bless. Appreciate the kind words and respect. Continue on.
So what do we think of Mendoza not going to the draft?
I mean, he's not the first number 1 overall pick to not go to the draft.
He won't be the last.
He won't be the last. I mean, if he wants to
draft party, is that what you referencing to?
Yes.
I mean, look, for him, it's you only get drafted first overall once. So if he wants to be with his family when he's getting drafted at home, host his own party. I mean, realistically, care.
He's a Miami guy. He gets to hang out with his family. I mean, really, nothing wrong with that. I get it. Who was that guy from Cleveland that went fishing and didn't go? I don't remember.
Joe Thomas, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Jeremy. Joe Thomas. He didn't go either. He's a Wisconsin guy, isn't he, Candy?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so he didn't go. It's not
but
deal.
Maybe it's because he doesn't want to hug the biggest sleazeball in the NFL named Roger Goodell.
Well, tell me how you really feel, Jeremy, about Roger Goodell. Obviously, evidently you did, right? You all right there, Adam? Am I boring you? Am I stealing away from your thunder, brother?
So what does everybody think of my list there? I mean, the rankings may be bad to somebody, but overall, the list is 1 through 26. Do you agree that they may not be the right order, but do you agree with those are the top 26 prospects right now?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's going to be fascinating where everyone ends up, because I think it was Jordan Schultz who mentioned earlier that you're going to see potentially a lot of movement, a lot of action on draft day, especially day 1, where teams are going to be trading up, trading down. And I found it interesting because usually when you see a lot of movement like that, it's usually when you have a quarterback class that's top heavy, like we had in 23 when we had, I believe, 4 of the first 5 picks be quarterbacks, or when you have a class that's considered deep, like the one in 24, when we had 6 quarterbacks go in the first round. We have teams trading up, trading down, trying to find their guy because, as I mentioned, everyone's looking for a quarterback. So, but there are a lot of solid prospects. It's not very top heavy, but there are some solid prospects, especially on defense. I was looking. There are some guys at edge They're guys at corner, linebacker, and especially at offensively at wide receiver. Now, there's
Yep.
not that surefire number one guy, the Justin Jefferson, the Julio Jones, the Jamar Chase, or Malik Neighbors from a couple years ago.
But you got Carnell Tate and Mekhi Lemon. That's basically your 1A, 1B, in my opinion, in this draft.
In the second or third round, that can start potentially on day one.
Even Denzel Boston is decent.
And I'm telling you, Jeremy, anybody you put with the Miami Hurricanes on there, you're not getting an objection from me, right?
Well, Carson Beck was visiting Pittsburgh last week.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, they like him. They like him in a third or fourth round.
You know what, Adam? I think that definitely is something that it would intrigue me. That he's one of those guys that in the third or fourth round, with the right coaching from McCarthy, is a very safe pick for him. I would definitely like that move if he wound up in Pittsburgh.
I still think we go with Will Howard. That's my opinion.
Well, you're still going to go with him anyways.
But back to that Cowboy comment earlier, I think they trade both their first round picks and try and trade up into the top 10 to get that lineman they need.
Hey, Candy, make sure on next week's show you get a little bit comment on Ruben Bain in there as well. These guys are going to salivate when it comes to what I had to ask them. I got 3 or 4 good questions of the Ruben Bain, and hopefully y'all will enjoy some of the Ruben Bain comments on him. It was an interesting game, go to the pro day, and then I caught an opportunity at the very end, and Ruben was fantastic. See, I'm giving this poor girl a lot of work on her show, which is supposed to be laid back, but we have some good hay before draft day. That's why I'm trying to appear on more of your shows. Well, NFL, I'll come on occasionally, but now we got Fernando in there. That's okay. He's going to fit in with y'all really well.
I'm probably going to be at the draft on that Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Are you covering it, or are you just going to go?
I think I'm just going. I'm going to hopefully going to be able to hang out with someone being flown in by the Niners. So we'll see how that works.
What was that crash?
Okay.
I'm not nervous about the tackles at all because I watched their drills, and most of them did really well. The only one that I thought actually failed at his drills a lot, especially on the turf, which makes me think he is not an indoor dome guy because, it was in Indy at Lucas Oil Field. It was Jake Slaughter. He was sliding all over the place every time he changed directions. If you watched in those change direction drills, and when a center can't change directions, there's misdirection plays where a center has to be able to do that. And if he's slipping on turf, that could be detrimental to any run or pass play where they require the center to use misdirection on a stunted defensive tackle or defensive end.
Well, now this guy is agreeing with me. I don't understand. Didn't this guy criticize me in the beginning of the show?
Who?
It's Michael, dude. Didn't he criticize me when I said the Raiders shouldn't?
No, that was Broski Bear that criticized
you. Oh,
you.
yeah. Well, where's Broski Bear on this one? Or did he jump off like normal?
He probably already jumped off.
Like that Michael Lom dude the other night, whoever the hell that guy was.
Mendoza is going to be a bust. So we'll see. We'll see.
I think Roger Staubach's the only one that made the Pro Football Hall of Fame, though, I believe, as a Heisman Trophy winner at a quarterback position and drafted in the first round.
Peyton Manning win the Heisman?
Nope.
He didn't win the Heisman?
No, he lost out that year. Who was that? It was the kid out of Oklahoma that won it, wasn't it? Or was that the year that the linebacker out of Washington won it, Brian Bosworth, that beat him out?
Was it Couch? Eric Crouch? Eric Couch?
Didn't play one snap in the NFL.
They still won, I believe.
Was that it?
They said only 3 QBs that have won the Heisman, because I looked it up, and that was
Jim Plunkett,
Roger Staubach, Jim Plunkett, and Doug Williams. They were the only 3 Heisman winners to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right. He is the only Heisman winning quarterback to be in the Hall of Fame. There are only 10 Heisman winners in general in the Hall of Fame. I did not realize that.
That's an interesting point by Michael, though. Oh, Cousins is an insurance policy. I don't know. So watch that story.
I agree with Michael on this one. That's why I brought up that opening question right away. And apparently I've got a lot of heat for it.
Wow, it's an interesting storyline. Michael, I'll pay attention to this here, man. There's a little bit of substance behind what you just put out there. I think the key to this whole thing is how Clint Kubiak can go ahead and develop is what I think his quarterbacks. But you know what? Now Michael just threw something out there. I'll probably pay a little bit more attention to.
Peyton lost against Charles Woodson.
Yeah, Charles Woodson.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He was a pretty good player.
Mr. Detroit guy.
Yeah, I know. It was a long time ago.
Oh, that's
Shared
what
title.
out.
Hey, I can't help it. I forget some things. You know, you are talking about what 30 years ago.
I thought the third. Oh, go ahead, Mendoza. Or who was? I thought the 30 at 30 when Charles Woodson and Peyton or Tom Brady were hanging out at Brady's house doing a 30-30 on that. That was pretty funny. The duck roll, whatever that 30-30 was called.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's focus. Let's shift our focus a little bit. How about NBA playoffs are going to be starting not too far down the future here. Who's in, who's not, who do we like?
I think the East is especially wide open. I think it's anyone's conference, and it's kind of hard to tell who's going to come out of the East. You've got Detroit, the number 1 seed. You've got Boston, but I think Tatum's health and their depth isn't as strong as it has been in the last few years. Who's the third? You've got the Knicks. I think with their size, and if Brunson is on, they can make noise. And then, like, even Cleveland, and on paper, they have what you want or what you need to make a deep playoff run. But bottom line is you can't trust James Harden when it comes to playoff time. And a backcourt of James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. Now, credit to Cleveland, and Cleveland, they do a good job of staggering those two. So that way there's not an instance of teams just zeroing in on one or the other and hunting them every possession down the stretch. But I just can't trust James Harden come playoff time.
Is that because they're going to predict to play the Hawks?
Well, our issue is that, I was going to get to the Hawks in a little bit, is that we're undersized. Number one, we're undersized, and it showed in our last 2 losses against the Knicks and the Cavs. So I don't know about the East. And then about the West, I think at this point it's between OKC and San Antonio. Now, San Antonio obviously gave OKC a run for their money all season. They swept them, as a matter of fact. But if I were to make a prediction, I gotta go with the number 1 seeds. I gotta go with Detroit, and I gotta go with OKC. Now, a sleeper team, if everything goes right, Cleveland, if Harden actually shows up in the playoffs, could make some noise.
How did Golden State go in? I'm just Googling it, and they're
not doing well.
Under 500.
The thing with Cleveland is they can either make a run, or if they get a team like Atlanta in the first round, they can end up going home in the first round.
Well, at least you hope, right?
The issue with Atlanta is that they're undersized.
I am so with this Michael dude. I like it. I'm not putting on my but I don't. Yep. I like I said earlier, I would go with Jeremiah. I love to have the 1-2 punch in that backfield. That's just me. I know we're talking basketball, but
the Timberwolves. Okay. I think it could come down. There's 2 teams that I think are dark horses in the West, and I think it's San Antonio's one, and the other one's the Denver Nuggets.
Oh, definitely.
Because their playoff basketball is at a different level. OKC, yeah, they showed up last year. I want to see them do it again before I just go ahead and crown them. But SGA has proven he's pretty darn good there for OKC. And in the East, I think it comes down to Detroit or Boston. And my dark horse is your Hawks.
We'll
I
see.
just, the way they're playing, but as you said, they're on the smaller size. They tend to get out physicaled against the teams that have power bigs. That is what I see with them. But if they get that fast tempo going and don't turn the ball over, they're a different team.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, the two things concern me about the Hawks. As you mentioned, the lack of size. And then we also got to figure out how to close against these teams. Obviously, Jalen Johnson's the man now in Atlanta, but I think he's still growing into that role. But he's got to develop as a closer. The closer right now for us is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. But I feel like, think about this, is that, say what you want about Trey. Trey would have won that game last night. I'm just letting you know right now. Trae Young would have won that game last night. But I think Jalen Johnson, as I mentioned, is growing into that closer role. If he can develop into that and learn how to put the team on his back, I think they can make noise not only this year but in the future.
Anybody else? Basketball or no?
Yeah, I actually will give you a prediction. I'm not going the dark house route. I'll simply give you the finals. Fair enough. I'm going with Pistons all the way. They're looking awfully good. And now you get Cade Cunningham back. And they won without this guy. They're awfully good. And then I'm going to be old school, as I always am, gray hair and all that. Put Detroit and San Antonio in the finals all day long. And then you have then you're going back to the Larry Brown era and Tim Duncan. Detroit, San Antonio in the finals all day long. Who do you want for a winner? I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to give you two. Oklahoma City, great. They got their ring. They got their championship. But when the Seattle Supersonics, they'll be down to one banner. The Sonics will get their banner back. That'll be another story. But Oklahoma City, I don't see it happening twice. Boston, maybe they are, but I don't know. Detroit's playing too good.
Yeah, Boston not this year.
No. If Detroit gets 2 more wins, they hit the 60 plateau. Yeah, I hope we don't leave Robert Horry. That was good. I like that. Oh, it's funny how you bring his name up. I'll never forget the time when Dennis Rodman was traded over to, I think, was Houston, and the trade never went through because of medicals. And that Robert Horry, and I can't remember who the other player was, they were sent back to Houston. It was too bad because Horry was a heck of a player. I'm drawing a blank on that one, but Robert Horry was one of the players that was involved in that trade. And amazingly, I was at the game, and they were in street clothes, but unfortunately they went back to H-Town.
Okay, let's shift our focus over to MLB. Let's talk about what your team. What do you guys feel about the ABS system?
I like it. It's been a hit. I like it.
I love it. I think it's fixing a lot of problems that we have seen with inconsistent strike zones. It's been able to fix some pretty glorified bad calls even on the base paths lately. So
it has given the player power.
It gives the pitcher a power too, because if he sees that he made a strike and the guy calls a ball, hey, use it.
Well, more importantly, it holds bad umpires accountable. It holds the umpires accountable.
Yeah.
Because now we're going to get to that skinny about who actually calls the correct balls and strikes better.
Yeah.
I'm ready for all robots, Dom says.
Yeah, Sabaruki's back in here.
Are they keeping it for playoffs too?
I heard they might be. That's still up in the air. They're trying it out for the regular season, and if what they're saying is that if they got all the guys that make the correct calls all the time judging, guess what? They don't need it as much then, because if you got somebody. If it's to where they got guys that are 90% accurate or better, then they won't need it as much in the playoffs. Because that's going to be the cutoff now that they're using the ABS.
I just can't wait till it's a 3-2 count in the bottom of the ninth of the World Series, and we got to go to ABS to see if it's a ball or a strike.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way there, Adam. I really am. That's an excellent point. The only thing I'll say about the ABS system is growing on me. If my co-host on 108 Stitches Baseball Talk, Barry Foote, says he's starting to like it, then I'm going with my man Barry. And for those of you that don't know about 108 Stitches Baseball Talk, I have Barry Foote, former New York Yankee, and he's played in the game a lot, as well as Warren Brewster on there. I'm waiting for Adam, okay, to come on that show to hang out with Barry, and that's something we're going to work on, Adam, right? At some point when we get back from Europe, because I've already talking privately to you about Barry, so we got to get you on Monday night even for a 15, 30 minutes, all right? I'm working on it. I'm working my angles. Adam, you got to just work with me, all right, brother?
I'm here.
I know you are.
I'm here, but I hate all this heavy ass. Oh, work is just kicking my butt lately.
No, it's okay. Well, we're glad you're on here hanging out. I'll keep coming on these from time to time, but Candy and all you guys are doing a great job. Go ahead, Candy. Done.
So what I find interesting is, obviously, if you don't know the rules are each team receives 2 challenges to start the game, and only batters, pitchers, and catchers can challenge a call. If the team wins the challenge, they can keep challenging.
Okay.
If a team challenges incorrectly twice, it loses its challenges for the rest of the game. So here are some of the numbers going so far. As far as batters challenging the ABS, there's one player that's challenged 4 times. He has been successful all 4 times.
Really?
Yes. Ivan Herrera. Marcelo Zuna, 3 challenges, 3 successful. Mark Vientos, 3 successful. Aaron Judge, twice, both successful. And I can keep going down the list because there's a whole bunch of them that have been successful. Kyle Schwarber, he's 4 for 5 successful. Jose Altuve, 3 for 4. Bregman, 3 for 4. Trout, 3 for 4.
Yeah, the one that Schwarber got wrong, it was kind of funny because he was crowding the plate and he thought it was inside and jumped back. So he said he wanted a challenge. And literally, it was like the skin of the baseball touched the line for the strike zone, and it confirmed the strike.
I am not a firefighter.
Now, I will say these stats are through yesterday's games, not today's games. As far as pitchers go, 1, 2, 3, 4. There have been 7 pitchers that have challenged a call once each. All 7 were successful, but only 7. Then you move on to catchers. The catcher with the most, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6 that are at 100%. But JT Realmuto has challenged 5, and all of 5 were successful. Mitch Garver is 4 for 4. Rafael Marchin, 3 for 3. Danny Jansen, 2 for 2. Adley Rutschman, 2 for 2. And Jefferson Quero, 2 for 2. And then it goes down.
Yeah, that's CB Buckner. He's really good at this game.
Yeah, right. I know where you're going with it. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm with you.
As far as that goes, the umpire that has had, granted, there are a couple. So I got to take the top 3 out because Clinton Vondrak, as far as umpires, has only had 2 challenges. They both went against him. Brock Bailio, 2 for 2, and Jim Wolf, 3 for 3. But
all going against.
The worst ref is Chad Whitson, who was challenged 11 times, and 10 of them were overturned for a 90.9%.
Wow, that's incredible.
And Go ahead.
Ever a night when your stats are really doing some damage. These are.
Andy Fletcher, he's 15 for 17, wrong. Chris Segal, 14 for 17, wrong. And yes, when we go to CB Buckner, because I know that one's been out there, 7 for 9, wrong. So 77.8% of the time he's wrong.
I do think
versus
that
the ABS.
the catcher position is going to change with the ABS. Framing the pitch is going to change. Technique is going to change. Like, you know, it's going to change now. With ABS, it's just going to change. Greg Maddux could not be in this era right now.
And yes, that is Dirty Dom that's there in the chat. Dom DeRubis that used to be a part of Inside the Pigskin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I just thought those were some interesting numbers, so that's why I wanted to bring them up. And it's interesting. Some of the teams have challenged more than other teams and are more successful as well. But
I think it's the timeliness of it. There was a pitch the other day, and you could tell it was 4 inches too low, but there was nobody on, nobody out, and the Tigers were leading at the time, and this was versus the Cardinals. And there was a ball that almost hit the plate before it got to the catcher. And the umpire went up with a strike to strike out Kevin McGonigal. And he goes, and the catcher looked at him, he goes, "You're not going to challenge that?" He goes, "Why? What good is it going to do? It's just going to get me on base for the next guy to get out." So save the challenge for when it's something on the line.
Exactly. You know what, Jeremy? That's an excellent point because I see some of them are being used in the first and second inning. Unless you have to do it early, wait till the latter part of the game.
Now, if it's like the first out and you got a man on second and third and it's a 3-2 count and they call you out and it should be a ball, heck yes, I'm calling
all right, that's a different argument because
Yeah.
that's the man in scoring position to get you home. But I'm talking about don't use them all up early.
Right.
Leave one for later in the game, and if you need one somewhere else in the game, I'm validating your point, and that's up
Right.
Jeremy.
But
That's
what I think is great about it is we're talking about a rookie in MLB.
Right.
Could be aggressive. It's not easy. You're not easy to score. And now we're going extra innings. The man on second base now. You know, so I think if you can score early and get it out the way, a win's a win. Players on.
But like nobody on, there's already 2 outs, and it's a strike that doesn't mean anything, and you got Power Alley coming up behind you. And there's a chance that guy might hit, but they hadn't been hitting.
Someone drops a fly ball and he gets a second pitch, it's a home run. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like,
right. But at the same time, in the concept of the swing of things, it didn't mean that much at the time to let it slide. Is what I was getting at, and that was a smart decision in my opinion on Kevin McGonigal, a guy that was in his 5th game of his career, made that decision. I think that's pretty ballsy. Myself.
But again, I'll reiterate on what you just said. You're 100% right. You are. You have to know, and what you have to do is know when to pick and choose your spots when to use them. But I always say I want to leave. Pardon me?
We might be guaranteed a Big Ten championship in hockey. Michigan's up 3-2.
Oh, are they really? Oh, wow.
With 8:58 in the third.
But getting back to my point, Jeremy, okay, I'm with you. By the way, I do want to make a quick announcement here, if I may, Candy. Beginning on July 8th, Talking Baseball will be in the hands of Eric Katz, will be my new host of the show, along with Tony Lewis. For those of you that may or may not be familiar with it, the show will run around 10 o'clock a.m. So anybody on this panel that wants to come in from time to time and be a guest on him, Eric Katz is going to host it, and Tony Lewis. Those are 2 guys you can see prominently on Monday night on 108.6 Baseball Talk, and Eric Katz and Tony also appear on the Sports Exchange. I want to make, since we're talking baseball, Candy, I thought it was important to get that plug in as well. So Eric Katz, and Jeremy knows when you work hard for us, we'll find other places to put you to make sure we can expand your visibility. So Katzy and Tony will be leading it, and everybody, if you're available 9, 10 o'clock, in the morning on Saturday, just give me a shout or a candy, and we'll get you on there. And Katz, he's a great young prospect. Like I say, Jeremy's done great. Samir, you've done outstanding. And Adam, I'm waiting to get you on Monday night. I really am, pal. And Fernando, you got your spot on here.
What time?
About 9 to 10 in the morning, Eastern time.
I'm at Monday.
Huh? Oh, Monday?
Yeah.
We start the show at 8 o'clock at night.
Eastern?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Because my show's at 9, so.
Well, so what? You come on from 8:05 to 8:35. What's the difference? You can hang out. We bring
No,
on
no,
people-
I just wanted to make sure like they weren't like same time.
No, there's no conflict. I'm looking forward to bringing you on. I'm always looking forward to adding new people in here. And with the fact that you like baseball and the fact I got the heavy hitters on that show, I think you would fit in nicely with this group as often as you want to come on. It's an open invite is what I'm trying to tell you, Adam. And there's no conflict of interest with your show.
Danny, the only problem with your comment is timeouts in the final 2 minutes are way more important than that red flag. And if it don't get overturned, they lose a timeout.
Yeah.
All right, well, whatever. It's fine. It's okay. You have your opinion. I got mine. It is what it is.
But at the same time, it depends on the flow of the game and what the actual thing
Right.
they're trying to overturn is, and if it's able to be overturned. Because, look at Jim Schwartz that cost them their last timeout that year when he called one on a scoring play.
Right.
Which a scoring play is automatically reviewed.
Right.
So that lost the review. It literally lost the review was the penalty on it.
It didn't
So
help
the
his
play
job
stood as
status
called
either.
and lost their last timeout.
Yeah, it didn't help his job status either. Jeremy the Fourth were ticked at that one. That's the one they should.
Yeah, that was the one that gave him the 8-8 record that year. The year he was let go for Jim Caldwell.
There you go. Great. There you go, Jeremy.
But Scott, definitely I'm interested in coming on. I just saw that comment pop up and I wanted to answer my thoughts first.
And I actually thought Jeremy and Adam and the rest of y'all that Jim Schwartz did a decent job in Detroit considering what he inherited. And I'm surprised up to this point he hasn't gotten a second chance. Cleveland screwed up. I don't know much about Tom Monken, but Jim Schwartz was the ideal guy that should have gotten that job.
Yeah, because he took over right after the 0-16 season, right?
Exactly. Yep, that's what he did.
Yep.
And
I think the first year we got to 5 or 6 wins that first year. And that was because Stafford was hurt for 10 weeks of it. And then the next year, Stafford gets hurt again. And then the first year that Stafford's healthy, we go 11-5.
There you go. Yeah, didn't they win 2 games Stafford's first year? I'm trying to remember.
No, he won 2 games with Stafford and 3 games without him.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, I wasn't sure.
It was a 5 years.
You think I'm going to
season
debate you on Lions knowledge when that's your primary gig? I'm all over the national map, Paul Rick.
I know you are.
If there's ever a Lions authority that I know better than you, let me find out who, because I'm putting you at numero uno on that, Paul Rick. Me, I'm just all over the map right now with all the things I do. All I try to do is land big names on these things like Dennis Marok on Thursday night. We're trying to land Peter Mahavlich as well, although we had some technical issues with him, but we'll get him on sooner or later, as well as some big names across the network that I'm working on landing even more of. So, but Paul Rick, I handle Lions.
You got to throw the other name out there, Scott. You got to name the bigger one, the big fish.
Who's that?
Bobby Orr. You're working.
Yeah, we're working. Yeah, but that one I was talking to Santos. We're working on that one 2, 3, 4 months down the road. But Bobby Orr is definitely one that Mike Santos is convinced he could probably get him on 1 or 2 times. But I'm trying to. But that's a big fish we're working on. I'm working on a lot of big names as I continue to go ahead, and I'll be stepping back a little bit for some of these shows as I find the successors, so that I can work on the inside and the admin stuff. But I'm not in any hurry to do that. But I'm finding people that are going to go out there and take my place if I need a night off once in a while. And I found it in Cody Speak tonight in hockey. And of course, Eric is going to do his thing and Tony on Saturday. Everybody's got a shot. Jeremy co-hosts with Candy. I mean, come on this show. Man, he's done a tremendous job with it.
I think it's time for my tone.
Okay.
And Adam, I'm going to let you start out.
Gotcha. Well, I was excited. Connor Griffin got his contract, so he's going to be here for at least 9 years. Penguins or Pirates just lost their 5-game winning streak yesterday, and they lost it in dramatic fashion, 8-2. Let's see. Penguins with the win tonight clinched their playoff spot with a 5-2 win over New Jersey. Then we have obviously the draft. Steelers are having numerous players in, and I hope they go wide receiver, but that's just me. And that's where we're at in my town.
Samir.
So the Braves just had a 4-3 road trip at Arizona and at the Los Angeles Angels. I would say the highlight of the road trip was, they had a fight on the former World Series MVP Jorge Soler for the Braves in 2021. He hit the home run, 3-run home run over the train tracks in Houston. Was hit by Ronaldo Lopez earlier, was an accident. Next at bat, Ronaldo Lopez goes high and inside. He doesn't like it. He charges the mound. Jonah Heim, catcher, did a horrible job protecting him.
Well, break the whole play down first. I mean, this goes with the throw over the back, the stolen base, looking like nothing's going on. Then all of a sudden,
he throws high and inside. Goes to the backstop. They steal a base. They try to throw the guy out at second. He's safe. And the next thing you know, I see Jorge Soler and Ronaldo Lopez just throwing punches. And then Walt Weiss comes out of nowhere, and Walt Weiss and one of our backup shortstops comes out of nowhere and tackles Jorge Soler. So he gets a 7-game suspension. Ronaldo Lopez gets a 5-game suspension. He's only going to miss 1 start. What else? The Hawks have lost 2 in a row, 2 pretty winnable ones against the Knicks and the Cavs. They've got the Cavs again in Atlanta tomorrow night. Donovan Mitchell's out. Jared Allen's out. And I think they've got a couple more guys out. So the magic number for the Hawks is 1. If they win one of their last 2, they lock up a top 6 spot for the first time since 2021. Or if they get one more loss, since the Sixers lost tonight, they need one more loss from both Charlotte and I think Orlando. But they're better off just taking care of their business tomorrow night and winning.
I'm actually happy for Steve Holman Sr. He's going to do more than cover regular season games. Good guy.
Yeah, for the Falcons, starting right tackle Caleb McGarry, surprisingly but also unsurprisingly, retired. He signed a 2-year, $30 million deal last offseason. Missed all of 2025 with the season-ending knee injury suffered in training camp. And at age 31, he is following a trend of quite a few offensive linemen this offseason and decides to hang it up early. They signed Jawan Taylor immediately after. So good luck to Caleb McGarry. We wish him the best.
Good luck to not getting called for false starts with Jawan Taylor and his leg twitch.
We just had a whole year of that with Elijah Wilkinson. So,
and now that he's not a Chief, he'll be called for it.
Oh, he doesn't have that Chiefs tax either. So,
right.
Fernando, what's happening in your town?
Nothing.
With your teams, either the teams that you follow in your town or from your home, whichever.
The New York Mets just lost 7-1. They just blew that game.
on brand.
Mets fans suck. It's weird. Like I follow the Mets and I'm in these group chats on Facebook and everything, but the Mets fans is just I don't know. It's I keep my distance.
They get in that Subway Series mindset.
No, it's like the Mets fans think like they're owed something. It's 7 games into a season. I think Met fans are not baseball fans, and I do think that some fans are not fans of the sport or not fans of the leagues in general. You know, like it's just it's just they complain about some random stuff and it's just there. But other than that, other than following the Mets, I don't know anything else about any other sport. It's baseball season right now, so to me, it's all baseball. Since the WBC, I'm following more Colombian players across the league. I found there's another Vargas in the pros, so I'm following him now. He's a first baseman, I think, of the Diamondbacks. So I'm following that. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I'm playing a trip. A good friend of mine, he's the head linebacker coach at Rutgers University. So I'm planning a trip out there to go visit him. Other than that, I think that's pretty much on my schedule.
Jeremy.
Nice. Well, I did just have the whole list of the top 30 visits for the Lions, but that's too much to go through on this short of a toe. So that's being done. The rookie visits are happening here in Detroit. Cade Cunningham returned to play last night and was in form already, doing 25 minutes and scoring over 20 points with almost 10 assists. So he got right back to his double-double average. And I'm quite sure it's just so they can get him in game shape for the playoffs with the 3 games left when they activated him. And that's smart. It's kind of like when Chris McCollum first came back and he was able to score 21 points for your Hawks, Samir, after he returned from his injury. It's that type of thing. These guys got to be worked in.
Oh, it's 3-3, Jeremy.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Scott, do you want to add anything to?
Yeah, I got one. I will add. According to Florida Hockey Now, Paul Maurice said Sasha Barkov will not play for the Panthers this season. He had reconstructive knee surgery on September 22nd. Listen, Panthers been knocked out of the playoffs for about a week or so. It's too bad they won't be able to get their three-peat. Okay, although I'm a Red Wings guy through and through between anyways. But the Panthers have been decimated by injuries. Lose your captain. It's totally unfortunate. So get ready for next year. Panthers, no three-peat for you guys. But Sasha Barkov, I hope you get well soon. Excuse me.
So, my town. Well, we all know I go back to Wisconsin. Obviously, Wisconsin is now in the final 2 of hockey. We will see who they play. With 1:28 left, Denver and Michigan are tied at 3-3. So, this could go in. We might be talking about overtime here for them.
Candy, sorry to cut you off. Did you see the City Connect jersey from Milwaukee?
I did.
What you think?
It was okay. Not my favorite, but
I was trying to sound it out. I was like, is that Wisconsin? Like,
Wisconsin.
How about B-more?
What are they trying to say?
I thought Baltimore's was horrible. It says B-more.
That's local. That's local. But Wisconsin was kind of left field.
The Braves went back to the powdered blue. Jameer, did you see their jersey?
Which ones?
With the city, oh my gosh.
The Braves. Oh yeah. I love them. They're a lot better than the last ones.
I'm still not a fan of the Texas. Still hasn't gotten me over on any of their City Connects.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Texas is a little bit more cultured related than anything else.
As far as the Bucks, I think you are seeing the last of Doc Rivers. He has said that he has 8 grandchildren, and he's kind of tired of not, going to their schools and spending more time with them. So I think this will be the end. It'll be interesting to see who the Bucks will hire. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Giannis. This could be ugly. I don't know. The Brewers are doing okay. I'll take it. They're first in the Central. As far as the Packers, well, it's status quo right now. Let's see. End of third, tied 3-3.
If the Bucks had any
Yep.
sense at all, number one, Doc Rivers, he's already on the wall. He's gone. If Bucks had any sense at all, bring back Adrian Griffin. Okay, bring back the guy that you shouldn't have fired in the first place,
I don't know why
and own it. That's what they should do.
So
I don't think they're
in
smart enough to do it, but
in
they should. Go ahead.
in college hockey, it's what, continuous overtime, sudden death, or is it one overtime and then the shootout?
I
I
do
have
not
no
know.
idea. I don't follow it that much. One would hope it should be 5-on-5. That 3-on-3 stuff doesn't work in the playoffs. So what happened with the Olympics? I wouldn't do it. You need to go 5-on-5.
I don't mind
Bar-
3-on-3 in a shootout, but 5-on-5 is the way the game should be played.
Oh, no question about it. Oh yeah.
Now, if
Overtime
it ends up
rules-
5-on-3,
Overtime rules in the NC2A men's hockey tournament are similar to other postseason formats in which teams must play in endless 20-minute periods until a good goal is scored.
Okay,
There are
good.
no shootouts in postseason NC2A bracket games.
Well, that's what the NHL does. Good. At least the colleges got that part right.
NHL does the same thing too.
right?
There's no,
That we
there's no
just said
shootouts. There's no shootouts in hockey.
not
for
in
the
the playoff. You're right.
Any other topic anyone wants to bring up?
No, I'm pretty much done for the night.
Okay, with that being said, Samir, how can people find you?
You can find me on here every Thursday night on Fire Up. You can find a lot of my content on my X account, which is displayed below. And you can find a lot of my writing content on the South Florida Tribune's page. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next week.
You bet. Candy,
right,
you can fit in another station break too at the end if you want to.
I will. I let everybody else. Fernando,
Yeah,
how-
Samir, you're great. I'm proud of you, man. You've done a good job as a writer and as a broadcaster. Good stuff, pal. I'm one of your biggest fans.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Fernando, how can people find you?
Holiday Vargas at on all platforms, but hopefully being on this channel every Thursday, there'll be more coming out of me. And then again, like I said in the beginning, the fandom will come back, and I think being around this group of people would drive a little bit more energy towards me. So I think I would like to start challenging myself to produce more content on my pages. So at Holiday Vargas on all cross platforms.
Well, I know one thing, Fernando. Welcome to the show, and you're a great addition to the Country Club and Fire Up. I know that. You and I will be meeting in person probably within the next week or so I can autograph your book, which you are, by the way, in it. Okay, so Fernando and I will be getting together soon in person, and I'm glad you're out. We found an industry on Thursday night with this group. You're going to fit in great.
Can't wait.
Adam.
Same here.
Oh,
How can people find you?
It was nice meeting you, Fernando. Samir, good show as always. You can get me at Sports Talking It on Twitter. You can get me at Driving to the Top Productions. Monday, baseball. Fans of the Diamond Talk. Tuesday, Open Sports Mic. Wednesday, Steel City Sports Talk. Thursday, right here. Saturday with the guy up there. More breaking. Jeremy, how do I don't know how to say this. Like, we break down numbers more on your show than we do.
Yeah,
on
we're
mine.
more about getting into the stats and talking about our teams than anything else. Talking about baseball in general. It's called the Baseball Roundtable Talk because I have fans of at least 4 fans other than myself talking about our teams.
I'll wait till you get on Monday night, Adam.
I'm curious to see what you got, buddy. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what you got. I always am.
Well, let me tell you, I bring on former major leaguers. That show is like no other show you're ever going to experience. You get 30 minutes out of there, you're going to be begging me to come back on every quarter for 30 to 45 minutes. When I put people that actually play the game, tell me about it, especially a couple that you know of. Now let me tell you, you come on that show 30 minutes before yours, or 40 minutes, whatever you have, works for me, brother. I can go 30-minute increments all day long. Get in there and mingle with Barry and Warren, pal. Reach out to Candy. Let's make it happen. All right, Adam?
Sounds
Open
good, my
invite.
man.
Huh?
Yeah, you got my number, so just send me a text.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Hopefully Candy saved it this time, but I'm not going to put any guarantees on that.
She handles all that stuff. All I do is put this stuff together and try to work through my Alzheimer's.
Right.
That disease is attacking me every day, and it's getting tougher. But I'm still fighting my butt off.
So those of you that are Michigan Wolverine fans of the basketball team, tonight it is reported that Michigan and star point guard Elliot Cadeau have agreed to a deal for him to return for his senior year. Just so everybody knows, keeping you up to date.
Well, actually, they snapped up a guy from Tennessee too, their center.
Yeah, a guy that was averaging 21 points a game.
Yeah. Well, it goes. You know what that tells you, Jeremy? If you can't beat them, join them.
Right. A couple of the Pitts, I forgot to mention, a couple of the Pitt stars, 3 of their starters just got into the portal today.
Yeah. Watch out.
Jeremy, how can people find you?
Well, you can find me right here at the South Florida Tribune channel every Thursday night on Fire Up, and occasionally wherever Scott decides to plug me in if I'm feeling up to it.
Exactly.
You can also find my writings on the SouthFloridaTribune.com underneath the contributors' writings, underneath the Motor City Tribune heading, where you will see all my writings about the Detroit Lions. And then you can find me on my channel, which is the KCB Sports Network, where I am live 6 out of 7 days of the week, unless I'm a guest on Sunday, and then it's all damn week long.
Yeah,
You can find Ballrick in the book too, right, Ballrick?
Page 155, paragraph 3.
I knew you weren't going to forget that. Just make sure you don't forget it in your final feel like you did tonight. I had to remind you.
No, you didn't have to remind me. I'm in.
Oh, that's okay, Ballrick. I'm just busting your chops because you made it for the whole show this week.
Jeremy's not reading his page yet.
Yeah, you have the page on everything. Good stuff. Jeremy.
Oh, yeah, but right, good.
The way I like to end this show before she does the station break to close us out is try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here.
Amen, brother.
With that, South Florida Tribune Publishing Company published a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by Scott, the Motor City Madmouth Morganroth. This is the book that Jeremy was talking about. He was telling you what page his name is on inside the book. Scott wrote it. Got to read it. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. There's also a link on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com. It's also available in audio format, so go get it on the audio if that's your cup of tea. And if you like to listen and audio is your cup of tea, we put all of our podcasts wherever you get your podcasts, so go check it out. If you want to advertise or sponsor a show, or you want to be a guest on one of our shows, you can always email us at southfloridatribune@gmail.com. And last but not least, if you see the red subscribe button in that lower right-hand corner, that means you have not yet subscribed to whatever channel you're viewing this on, because it's being streamed to 3 different channels right now. But we would ask you to subscribe to all 3 of the channels, if you would please. Everybody here is sharing their time, so please go out and help them out as well. If you like to listen to baseball Monday nights, 108 Stitches Baseball Talk. If you like to talk football Tuesday nights, Inside the Pigskin. Now Wednesday night, put it all out there, right, Scott? You never know what he's going to be talking about. He does a Motor City Madmouth show. And then he does Sports Exchange, and the topics are all over the map.
Yeah,
and when I say that literally. Like he talked about Russia and Japan last night. You got to go listen to the shows. Just tune in. And
I come up with stuff so incredible. What do you make this show? It's that wild and bizarre. Go ahead, Cam.
And then preceding this show is the Sports Wrap, which is either soccer or hockey. And it just depends on what guests he's got lined up for each night. And then, of course, the Country Club, the Fire Up. So turn on your notifications so you're always notified when any of the programming goes live. You don't want to miss any of it. And last but not least, I would like to thank everybody that has been in the chat room tonight. Well, we've had quite a few. Thank you all for tuning in. And next week, we'll be back. Same time, same channel.
Thank you.
Have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.